Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to discuss with you my final decision in putting my dog down. I did not give you all a brief synopsis of what was going on. So basically my dog Al Pacino got bit by a spider. The spider that he got bit by was a brown recluse about a month ago. He had a knot on the side of his neck. After we found the knot on the side of his neck, he began to scratch, and we found out after taking him to 3 vets, the second vet diagnosed him as being bit by a brown recluse spider. The spider bite was so bad, it bit him here on his neck. The tissue began to die. It turned red before it turned black. Then his whole neck seemed like it had opened up after the doctor took lasered the crust, the hard part off. Then he had a plug of dead tissue, and they took the dead tissue off. Now his bone is exposed, so I have no choice but to put Al down. When we found out exactly what happened, I took him to the first animal hospital, and they didn't know what it was. They wanted to open his neck up. They wanted to look in, but they didn't know what they were diagnosing, so I didn't think that was a good idea. The second vet we took him to actually diagnosed him as having a spider bite, a brown recluse. We all know that when a brown recluse bites a human as well as a dog, the tissue begins to become necrotic and it dies. And there have been known cases where humans have lost limbs and fingers due to brown recluse spider bites. In Al's case, where they diagnosed him as having the spider bites, he got some blood work done. He got clotting time done. He got an x-ray. During that time, there wasn't anything, it wasn't deep enough where it affected his tissue. So they told me to bring him back every single day to get him wrapped. They were going to clean the wound, scrape out the deadness, and wrap it every single day for a charge of $50. We ended up going to a third vet due to the second vet not keeping their word on as far as having him ready at a certain time, because one person dropped him off in the morning. I picked him up in the evening. So we went to a third vet. In the third vet, the wrappings were a lot better. They cleaned it. They brought us back so we could see. I was the only one that was able to tolerate it because Lisa couldn't tolerate the smell or what it looked like. And, you know, I don't have a problem seeing gory stuff, you know, wounds and stuff. So I went back, saw it. It was the size of a $50. And his tissue, he had red tissue around, and then in the middle was one brown glob of dead tissue from where I guess the spider must have either implanted eggs, it stung him, or whatever it did when it bit him, the tissue died. So he has been on tons and tons of medications, painkillers, muscle relaxers, and he has a special diet that he's now on. And it's gotten to the point where he started drooling. His lip on one side was kind of looked like it went up to his mouth, and his mouth was turned inside out. Like, this spider bite really did a bad job on him. The only place that I think he could have gotten bitten was when we had a couple of warm days inside the backyard. And I've seen brown spiders out there during the summer, but they never bothered him or I when we went out. But I learned something from this whole situation. So now there is a possibility, and I've made up my mind because he's been getting treated now for about a month, and he has come to the point where he is now suffering. So I've made the conscious decision after talking to the doctors, because the first surgery was going to cost $3,000. But the infection is so deep, it is near his jawbone, and he's going to have to see a specialist, and now they're talking $5,000 to $10,000. The sad thing is, either surgery, they don't know if he's going to make it through or not. So when I woke up yesterday morning, he still was on his medication, but he was actually just sitting there staring into space and shaking, because the doctor also said he was anemic as well. So I've made it up in my mind. I've actually come to terms with it that on Saturday, I will be putting Al Pacino down. It's not what I want to do, it's what's best for him. So, I want to see if I can bring him in, if he'll come to me. But normally when I come home from work, he'll just go upstairs and go and get in his bed. I have not given him his meds for today. And he's supposed to get wrapped tomorrow, but I think I'm going to call the vet back, because me and the vet had a long conversation. The vet thinks he's just the sweetest guy in the world, which he is. You know, he was a really good dog. I've had him since he was 6 months old. I got him Easter weekend 2014. So the whole family's pretty much tore up about it. I don't know if I'm going to videotape that moment, but they do provide you with his ashes, and they provide you with a paw print, you know, as a memoriam. So this is the best decision that I was able to come to. I wasn't worried about the money per se. I was more so worried about him surviving it. He was 13.5 pounds. He's now 11 pounds, which means he's lost 2.5 pounds. You can feel his ribs. And I just feel like my dog is suffering, and nobody wants to see their animal suffer. And nor do I want to make the decision as if I'm God, because, you know, I believe in the thou shalt not kill. I don't want to make the decision of putting him down, but me and the vet talked about it, and it's in the best interest of the pet. We talked about it today. He may not survive the surgery, you know, so I've just come to terms with it. I want to thank every single person who has reached out to me. Deneen, thank you for calling me, reaching out to me. Ricky, thank you for your referrals and everything that you've done, you know, your messages through Facebook Messenger. I just want to thank everybody for reaching out to me. And I want to thank everybody who has been following us on Facebook. I don't know if many of you follow us on YouTube, but we do have a YouTube channel. So I'm going to give it a little time before I decide if I'm going to get another dog right away, or I'm going to wait until after maybe vacation, my next upcoming vacation. Lisa was pretty tore up about it, as well as I was, but we, as dog mothers, we have done all we could for Al Pacino. I mean, we put it out there, we spent money. My whole savings account is just about depleted. $700. The first time was $150. The second vet was $753, plus an additional $500 something. I've paid $145 at this doctor's, and it's like now it's $50 a day every time he gets wrapped. So instead of him getting wrapped every day, it's every other day. So we've come to the conclusion that this is the best decision that we can make, because he is suffering. And I don't like to see him suffer. So this is the decision that we came up with. It wasn't an easy decision. It was a tough decision, but it's for the best. So once again, I just want to say thank you. If you're new to my channel, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. And I'll probably put up a tribute video to Albert once we go through the process of euthanization. So that is the end of my video, you guys. I'm a little sad about it, but you know, when you feel like you've done all you can and you've already cried about it already, it's nothing really you can do. So I've come to terms with the realization that, you know, Al has to be put down. So, and it's really sad because this is the first dog that I've ever had, you guys. I've always had cats, but you all know about 9-10 years ago, I had brain surgery. And when I had the surgery, I became allergic to cats. Really weird. So I could no longer get a cat. So I decided to try a dog. So Al was my first dog baby. So this has been hard for me, but I just want to thank everybody once again. So that ends this video right here. I'm closing it out, and I probably will come back with a tribute video for Albert once everything calms down. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for everything, for following us, everything. So I got to clock out, y'all. I'm cutting off the video, and that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching.